Welcome into the Cam Strick podcast, episode number 178, presented by Hair Club, baby.
Your voice sounds like shit. Your voice sounds like shit.
Can I just say something real quick? I've got major stomach issues this morning. I had pizza last night. Oh my God, this pizza, Cam. When I have that cheese pizza, man.
Well, your body's not used to eating normal shit.
No,
you're eating fucking greens all fucking day.
It's not, man. So I've got something going on today. I had that cheese pizza last night, man, and it has got me knocked down. And I'm going to get back up is what I'm going to do here right now. I'm just fighting through it, but I'm dealing with something today.
Well, shit, I got up early for you. I got you trade insiders got to get up early, and I got to get up early with you. And here we are, 5:42. I'm already in the studio. We got to get this out, baby. It is what it is. Today's, man, even like I look on Twitter, like it's early. People are breaking trades right now. Jagr just broke a trade as of 5:45 Central.
Can you break that down for us? Do you want to break down the trade?
Which one was it?
People are like, who is that?
Oh, Pittsburgh got somebody. I don't know who it was.
Like Bavilier.
Pittsburgh got somebody.
Nobody knows who it is.
Yeah,
Every trade matters, Cam, at this time of year. No trade left behind. Doesn't matter who it is. You know, I'd like to give a little trade story. Yeah, I remember back in the day. First off, put that damn gas station coffee down. I don't know what you're drinking there, dude. That is just absolutely embarrassing that you drink that shit. Your stomach's going to be fucking with you here before too long. You're going to feel like me.
That's why I got here early. So I get to the studio early. No one's in here, man.
I brew fresh beans is what I have. I got fresh coffee here, Cam. The house smells amazing right now, actually.
Andy, you're at home. You're at home. I'm at work. You're at home. I'm at work. I got up an hour and a half earlier than you so I can get here and get this done for you.
Cam,
I'm an early riser, homie. You know that.
Can you smell the coffee? I mean, listen, I pressed the beans. I pressed the beans. Okay, well, don't call me Kate. Don't call me Kate.
She drove me fucking crazy this morning, man. Like I was snoring and she woke me up at 3 o'clock. Just tell me to stop, which I get. But then when you have to get back up at 45, I just couldn't go back to bed. And I was so pissy. And then now you're talking about coffee. You're chirping my coffee. I had to get up. I had to go to goddamn gas station. I'm not brewing it here.
What else did you get at the gas? What else did you get at the gas station?
I got about $20 worth of beef jerky. I got chewing tobacco. I got my Lucy here.
I got some loosey goosey. I hope you got that.
I got that goose. I can't, man. The goose is so good for great interviews and talking on the radio. Yeah, it just calms my nerves down, man. Instead of having this glop in my mouth, it gets caught. And sometimes I like inhale the chew and then I cough for 25 minutes.
Yeah. Man, that cheese pizza just destroyed me, Cam. Absolutely destroyed me. So today's a big day. A little trade story back in the day. I was doing a trade deadline show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Cam. You know where that is? Philadelphia?
Yeah,
you familiar with that?
Yeah, I am.
And I get the text at about 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern from Bryce Salvador saying New Jersey. So Bryce and I had a deal basically like, hey, dude, when this goes down, you got to let me know where you're going, okay? So, and of course he comes through, he follows through, New Jersey. And I said, now normally players don't know who they're traded for, like who's coming the other way. Like they're not sure. And I said, well, who's coming the other way? They said Cam Janssen. I'm like, and now Bryce was kind of like a big deal at the time, right? It came down to him. It came down to him or Jax, and a definite top 4 D-man on any team in the roster, right? And the Blues didn't have the money. Well, he was in Jersey, yeah,
but
he didn't. The Blues didn't have the money to re-sign him. It was a contract situation where they couldn't afford to keep him. They had to keep one or the other. But he was a good player.
What was he making?
Well, at the time, he wasn't making that much.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I think he ended up getting a contract in that range from New Jersey. Yeah. That was paying him close to 4 or whatever. He got a couple of deals for Jersey, actually. Made out pretty well. But, Larry Plow, who's my guy, former general manager of the Blues, longtime GM of the Blues, still sends me a Christmas card, Cam. I don't know if he sends you one or not.
No, but I like him a lot. I like that Larry Plow a lot, man.
He is a great guy, but he didn't win that trade. He did not win that trade for Cam Janssen.
What are you talking about? Dude, get on with yourself. Listen, when I got traded here, they had me doing so much shit in the community. They were getting, listen, the Blues were getting like 11,000 a game at that point. And you get all these guys coming in. They had Osh, Perron, all of us, EJ, doing so much shit throughout the city. I said yes to everything, not to mention my family and people I knew growing up had me doing stuff. I was cruising around the city talking Blues hockey that whole fucking summer. So, no, they got something out of me. They got something out of me. Come on.
The attendance went up to like 11,007. Like 7 of Cam's buddies.
No, we
showing up.
We packed it. No. No, we packed it in.
They started packing the house. Started packing the house.
I don't remember not having a.
And I will. Yeah, no, I'll say that they started packing the house. But anyway, so I called Cam, and Cam was all like in WWF mode. I can't wait, bro. I'm ready to go. I'm sitting in the limo right now. I'm driving to the airport.
Yeah, man.
You were pumped up. And then I went on a bunch. Thing. And here I am in Philadelphia. And like, I put that out on Twitter because they still had Twitter back then. I think it was relatively new. But, and I was writing for a website at the time. Put that out and started doing a bunch of radio interviews. They were like, Cam Jansen, the St. Louis kid, is coming home. That's who they got for Bryce Salvador.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Hey, it was a great trade. Great trade. And who won that trade, Cam? Who won that trade?
I won the fucking trade. I won the trade, man. I don't care. I won it because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing in St. Louis if I didn't play for the Blues. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. And if you're not a Kachuk, let's say, and you don't play for the Blues, the people in St. Louis really don't know who you are for the most part. The hockey people will, but you can walk around the mall and no one's going to be like, oh, I know who you are. You play for the Blues, it's automatic. You're automatically popular in this little bubble in St. Louis, and you could take advantage of that. And people know you, and if you're good to people, then you could do a radio show and people want to listen, or we do a podcast and people want to listen. So it all worked out, man. So fuck that. I won that trade, and my family did too.
Jersey really won the trade. You want to know why? Because they got a really good player in Bryce Salvador, who ended up being their captain and was a big part of that team that went to the Stanley Cup final. You know that. He may have been the Conn Smythe winner if you guys won it that year. He had an unbelievable playoff. He's like scoring goals and stuff. But then Jersey got you back, dude. So, I mean, in reality, they won the deal.
That was Lou's plan. That was Lou's plan from the get-go.
I heard Lou Lamoriello. Now, you can tell me this if it's true or not. I reported it, so you know it's true. I didn't get any credit for it, but I did report it, and you know it's true. I heard Lou Lamoriello. Did he cry when he told you that you were traded? I heard he cried.
No. And you asked him that, and it's very embarrassing. And I'm like, God damn it, Andy! Like, don't ask him that. And he's like, well, he's not going to answer that. He didn't cry, but he was, emotional. He groomed me. It was emotional, and I was probably a little too emotionally happy at the time. I didn't really like sit back and think like,
you're like, yay, really? Is that really true?
I get to go home. Like if I was going to Ottawa, I'd be like, oh fuck, like okay. But I was home, so I just started like, oh my god, my buddy's gonna be able to see me play all the time. This is gonna be my family. Oh god. And so I didn't really realize, like, you're leaving an organization that groomed you, went through a lot of bullshit with you, signed you at a young age, gave you coins so you could fucking work out and help your family and all that stuff, believed in you, drafted you. And now you're ecstatic to leave. It was a weird year because I was hurt all year. I haven't played a game because I hurt my shoulder out against George Peros. And Aaron Asham was playing in my stead, who I love, by the way. So he kind of took and I was just getting bagged every day by Vladimir Bure, who we love the Bures, by the way. And so I just was in a fucked up mood. And I remember right before I went into Lou's office, not knowing anything, he looked at my face and goes, your face looks fat. I'm like, oh. And then I go up to his, I'm like, okay. And I go up to his room, and then he was like, he was pretty emotional. And then, the trade happened, and I was excited. And look, it all worked out. But
it's funny he says that. Your face still looks fat, even today.
Oh, it looks fat. I'm 240, Andy. I'm too goddamn 40, man. I'm eating. I'm obsessed with food. Like Kate and I like chill on Sundays. Like I had to do chiclets last night at 6 o'clock, which is like, Andy, I know me and you had a talk. You're like, you gotta pace yourself because Sundays are fucking mimosa days. It was beautiful outside.
I was like, Cam, make sure you're ready to go at 6 o'clock. Man, don't be like,
I know.
Don't be the Cam that just got off the plane coming back from Jersey,
Kate set it up with candles everywhere too, Andy.
Oh God, I'm so I'm done with the candles, dude. You guys are like, it's like a Satan worship scene over there. I don't know what's happening with you guys.
No, it's like living in it's not Satan. It's more like back in the day in a castle. You have candles lit, and you watch the fire, and you chill, and you drink wine, like fucking back in the Middle Ages, homie. That's like, we're obsessed with.
What's middle age? Like 1800s?
Middle ages is probably from the 1200s to the 1600s, yeah. And in the 1700s is more like the castles started coming in at 1200. All the defense castles, and then through the Renaissance age, like at 1516, that's when all the castles weren't defense minded. They were more like Fantasyville, like look at my power through wealth, not necessarily somebody's going to come and knock that thing down and take it over.
No, it was a status symbol, is what it was.
Absolutely. Well, they both were, but one was for defense, the other one was for just luxury.
Well,
we like the luxury kind,
Well, that's exactly right.
If I had a shit ton of money, Andy, no, if I had a shit ton of money, like if we fucking do good on this thing and I'm talking shit ton of money, which will never happen. Well, you win the lottery and you get 500 big ones, I would build a castle. Not a gigantic one, but I'd buy 1,000 acres through rolling hills, and I'd build a fantasy fairy tale castle. Yeah, fucking
in the middle of Missouri? Is that where you do
I don't know. Probably not. Probably the most beautiful area I could get 1,000 acres at. Most beautiful landscape ever.
Cam, I skated last night. I wore shoulder pads, actually. I thought of you because I wore shoulder pads for the first time in like 20 years last night. So,
I mean, look at your shoulders. You fall, they're breaking.
I was ready to go. I played a very smart game, man. Like, there's a U18 team here in town that's getting ready to go to USA Nationals. And so a select team, an all-star team, was put together to play against them last night as they prepare to leave to go to California for USA Nationals. And, of course, I was on that all-star team that was selected to play. And I just played a smart game, man. I was getting pucks in deep. I got a lot of compliments for that. They were like, dude, like, because we had referees, they scraped after the second period. So there was a score clock, everything. So we were up 6-5. I'm on the ice, Cam, with like under a minute to go because you put the people out there that you trust to close games out. Now you got to close it out at the end of the game. And so I'm out there. Okay, Cam. And what do? I get it in deep. I don't try to dangle in the neutral zone. I don't try to do it. You're just playing the time. You're playing the clock. And the clock just wound down, and we ended up winning the game, and I got invited back next week as well. So I may invite you.
You got invited back because I couldn't go. You got invited because I couldn't go.
That's not true.
That is 100% true.
But Joe Vitale was playing, and I think about Joe because, like what you said, like because he played in the NHL and whatever, but didn't play in St. Louis. I would imagine any kid who played in the NHL that's from St. Louis would have loved to play for the Blues. Like, if he didn't play for the Blues, man, it's just almost like, man, if I only had that opportunity to play for the Blues.
Andy, 100%. Now, everything worked out for Joey. Everything is always going to work out for Joey. That's a hard-working family right there. I love the Vitales. Love his brother, Charlie, too. And I always tell you, when we played together at AAA, 84 AAA, and Joey got called up to our team because he's in 85, I mean, anybody looked at him wrong. You got me and Charlie fucking throwing down the pipe on you. And that was fun. We get slaughtered. Anybody looked at him wrong. Oh, God. Charlie, they didn't give a shit about me. They were worried about Psychoville Charlie, where his eyes would cross. Smoke would come out of his ears. Love all y'all. But Joey's in a different spot, man. He's awesome what he does. He's got a great gig. Now, he's on TV all the damn time, so people are going to recognize him.
Radio.
But you're right. Well, radio, but he's on TV, too. He does commercials. Or he's all over the fucking place, man. He's everywhere. Yeah. And so he's in a different spot. But yeah, if you grow up in St. Louis, you're watching the Blues. You're getting into hockey mostly because your mom and dad never played, but they like the Blues. Like even all the guys that play, besides the NHL dudes, the Brownie and whatnot, but most of these kids that made it, their parents were like construction workers or something, right? Like they weren't even in the game. So how you got in the game is you watched the Blues. The Blues got you into everything.
Nobody who made it, parents were construction workers. I don't know what you're talking about. Outside of you and Maroon, you guys are the only two blue-collar families that made it, really.
Yeah,
you might maybe Brandon Bollig. I don't know Brandon Bollig's family dynamic and stuff.
Blue collar St. Charles, Patty, blue collar, myself, blue collar. Okay, who else? Well, Weidman, he seems kind of yuppie-ish. Is he? His mom and dad got coin. I love Weidman.
Wise. You know what? I got to give Wise a shout out, man. He's doing his thing right now. He's got his little baby. They got great Instagram stories. I love Weidman. He's one of the nicest people to come out of this city. And he's still playing in the league, dude. This kid was a phenom, man. Like he got a D1 scholarship out of midget hockey at a time where that was completely unheard of back in the day. Like normally you had to go to the USHL before you truly got your offers and committed to a school. This guy was getting offers, and I think he committed to Miami of Ohio when he was still playing midget hockey, dude. Which was, he was like undersized, unbelievable skater, dude. He's still playing in the league, playing for the Montreal Canadiens. Big shout out to my boy, Chris Weidman, his little baby too, and his wife doing their thing. They own like the blow dry, the hair dry, place where you go get your like hair done here in town. They got a couple of different like hair places.
What's it called?
It's like a blow dry.
The blow dry?
Blow dry.
Is it called the blow dry?
I think it's
Sign me up.
My wife's a member, dude. She goes there, like you get your like hair done and stuff like that. Like it's like high end. It's like they got a couple locations, man. I don't know. He's doing his thing. But you look at the other kids that are in the league right now, man. I'm just saying, like, hockey's a different sport. And the days of like construction workers, blue collar, I don't know. You don't see too many of them.
Yeah, you might.
I bet you if you go across the board, remember back in the day, it was like all these guys made it to the NHL from like Western Canada. They were like, oh, these guys come from like farmland. They're farmers. Yeah. That's not the case anymore, dude. Hockey's too expensive for that.
I mean, you still got the big Viking Alberta guy that's 6'5" coming out of shit Kickerville. Yeah, you still got that. But a lot of these kids are coming like Zegras and those boys are coming out of like, Connecticut and East Coast. Mom and dad got a little bit of money. It's easy to play. Doesn't mean this means that you're right. It's expensive. It's expensive to get noticed, Yeah. You go to, an expensive ass high school, stuff like that. Shit that we didn't do.
No. That was the only thing holding me back probably was money, Cam. Just think if I would have had a lot of money growing up. Maybe I would have made it too.
And your physique, of course.
Well, I was making smart, intelligent plays yesterday. So anyway, trade deadline is actually today. So this is going to come out on Tuesday. I almost thought maybe we should even put it out today on trade deadline day. Like, I don't know, Cam. People get so excited about this. It's fun.
Edit it out.
All these general managers, it's almost like there's so much pressure from the fan base. Like, you have to do something, like you better go out and do something, and then you get reminded some of these teams that win the cup, they really don't do anything at the trade deadline. I just wonder, like the Florida Panthers, listen, I get it. You're really good. Okay. And the Panthers obviously are a strong contender. Who knows? They may win it all and whatever. But, I mean, they're just handing out first-round picks like it's Halloween. Like, here, you get a first-round pick. You get a first-round pick. They don't have a first-round pick for, like, 3 years in a row. So let me just throw this out there and let the people know around the league. Like, it's hard to sustain success in the NHL if you don't have your draft picks. So they better win because, listen, they got a lot of young players. They got guys locked up. They're under contract. Superstar players, and they are fun to watch, man, and guys making a lot of money. So they're going to be good for a while.
Sometimes you got to go. I don't mind that, man. Like, I give them all the credit. Like, I like when teams do that. Look at the Rams. Los Angeles Rams. I know it's a different sport, but everybody was chirping them. You better do it. You better do it. Well, they did it, and they got rid of a lot of first rounders, and they're like, fuck it. We're going all in. I don't mind that, man. Good for Florida. You know what? Yeah. Florida needs to do something. They've been fucking quiet for way too long. Way too long. You go down there, it's like a bunch of old. Hi, what are we at now? You need to get your psycho fans back there. You need to have an awesome, sexy team with a GM and an organization that wants to go all in and spend money and risk.
Yeah,
and try to risk to make it. Fuck yeah, I'm rooting for them.
But here's the deal, though. I mean, they already were good, man. Whoever gets acquired at the trade deadline, we like overrate a little bit. Now, Claude Giroux is Claude Giroux. He's got 900 points. Or is it Claude? Is it Claude Giroux? It's Claude.
Well, I don't know, but they'll correct you on that.
So Claude Giroux, he's got 900 points. And, he's played 1,000 games now. Listen, he's going to be a great addition. And Ben Sherratt, he brings the physicality. I feel bad for that Aaron Ekblad, man. He gets hurt every year this time of year, serious leg injuries, but it looks like that he should be available for the playoffs. So they escaped any season-ending injury there. So and Ekblad doesn't get enough credit on that team, man. Everyone focuses on Barkov and Huberdeau and the goaltender. I mean, this guy is a beast on the back end. He is so good, former first overall pick. But, I don't know. I hope the Florida Panthers find a way to get it done. But all these general managers, there's so much pressure from the fan base to go out and do something. And the majority of trades that you see at the deadline don't involve superstar players or all-star players. They're just moves, So all the best to all the teams, man, here at trade deadline day. And I don't see too many teams become solidified cup contenders or win the cup just based on a move that they make at the deadline. That hasn't happened too often. So anyway, we'll see how it plays out. But they better win now, Cam. I mean, you mortgage the future like that. You better win. Now the pressure is truly on the Florida Panthers. And I hope by bringing in guys like Giroux and whatever, man, because obviously they got a good thing going in Florida. And you just hope by bringing in the new personalities and new superstars and whatever, that it doesn't disrupt whatever chemistry they've built up to this point.
Well, again, I said I like when teams kind of go all in like that, and they're pushing all their chips in. That's fine. They better win something, but I don't mind that. I like when teams do that, and I want them to succeed. So, but they could fuck themselves. They could get rocked in the first round. There's a lot of competition over there.
Yeah, it's nothing to guarantee, especially when Tampa Bay is doing what they're doing too, man. They bring in Hagel. Listen, I like that move an awful lot. I think Chicago, I don't know what's going on with Chicago. I know they got the 2 first-round picks. They got the 2 players.
Yeah.
The players, man, these guys are fourth-line guys. I don't – they're like throw-ins, It's like Tampa Bay is sure, we get Hagel and you guys get these 2 guys. Okay.
Yeah.
They're 2 first-round picks. They might as well call them second-round picks because they're
late round,
drafting 30th, 31st. Whatever those first-round picks are going to be. I always laugh when I hear people report, well, the 2 first-round picks going to Chicago are top 10 protected. Well, I don't think you have to worry about Tampa Bay drafting in the top 10. Okay? Yeah. So they get the 2 players, which, whatever. The 2 first-round picks, people are like, whoa, that's a massive return. Well, it is because you don't normally see 2 first-round picks. But, when you see it, Cam, you want to know when you see 2 first-round picks go in a deal is when you get a 23-year-old stud like Brandon Hagel making $1.5 million with term left on his contract, okay?
Yeah.
That's better than a first-round pick drafting in the third. This guy is a first-round pick.
Exactly.
So they pretty much gave up 1 first-round pick that Chicago's going to get, and it's going to be somewhere late in the first round. So I don't know. I mean, I just differ on it. Everyone's like, whoa, this is just crazy. What a return. I don't think it's that much. And I got to say this, Cam, because, I reported that he was going to Tampa Bay. And I did initially say, the initial information that I had was that it was Tkachuk, it was Radish, and 1 first-round pick. And I had tweeted out that Tkachuk and Radish were the 2 players being kicked around and the likely players that were headed to Chicago. But I did say, which I should not have said, was if it's what I'm hearing, it's not that much because I was only told that it was 1 first-round pick. I didn't know they were getting a second-round pick. But like I said, 2 first-round pick, that's easy to give up for Tampa Bay, man. They've won 2 cups. They're going for it again. You talk about teams going for it. They're going for it a 3rd time, a 4th time after this year. They just want to win every single year. They'll do whatever they can. And they get this 23-year-old stud that has the players inside the Chicago dressing room just scratching their head being like, what the hell are we doing? You're calling this a rebuild? What the hell
happened then?
Like we're rebuilding and you're trading away a 23-year-old stud after the head coach just came out publicly. I mean, he came out publicly just a couple of weeks ago, Cam, and he was like, we can't trade this kid. This kid's too important to us. He's too valuable to us. We can't trade this kid. The head coach is saying that. And then they turn around and they trade him. Well, because they said that the return and the package they got from Tampa Bay was too good to pass up for a couple of 4th-liners and basically 2 first-round picks that are late first-rounders, but you lose a 23-year-old kid making $1.5 million. Whatever. I mean, Chicago, man, I feel bad. Listen, those fans, they had an unbelievable run Okay, incredible run when winning 3 Stanley Cups and whatever. But things have changed. So
I don't
quickly.
feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for that. You know what? The fan bases I feel bad for are the ones that haven't witnessed anything like that in a long time. They've got to see the coolest fucking team ever for about a decade. And I just feel like, no, you got to see the best of the best of the best in the coolest goddamn city when the coolest teams ever assembled. No, I don't feel sorry for you guys at all.
No, listen, I know what you're saying.
The Blues fans prior to 2019.
Okay, no, listen, I understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the fans about it. Like, and everybody listening, like, they get that, right? Like, there's certain fan. You know what? Toronto fan base. I know Witt just had like a little soliloquy about them bashing Toronto fan. I feel bad for them sometimes, man. I do because they haven't seen it.
I feel bad for the Toronto fan because they just get so excited about everything. Like whatever they get in Toronto is like the greatest thing ever. It's like, well, we get Mark Giordano. Mark Giordano could be like 48 years old instead of 38. And they're like, whoa, now this is the missing piece. This is the guy that's going to get us across the goal line. Yeah, Mark Giordano. And dude, they break it down like they're getting like, Al McInnes or something like that, like in his prime, but whatever. Mark Giordano. Hey, listen, he got a couple second-round picks. Seattle did for him. I don't know how much he can play. I mean, I've talked to a number of people who have like scouted Mark Giordano throughout the course of the season because, St. Louis was looking for, has interest in a left shot defenseman. They're still hoping to get their hands on one. Nick Leddy is a guy that I hear is a strong possibility out of Detroit. But from what I understand, people who have scouted Giordano, like there's a legitimate drop off in terms of where he is in his career right now. And it's understandable. He's 38, but we still look at these guys like they're the player that they once were. Giordano won the Norris Trophy a few years back, but he's not even close to being that guy anymore. So listen, for me on a Stanley Cup team, Mark Giordano is a third pair guy. He's not a top 4 guy. Certainly isn't a top pair guy. He's a bottom pair defenseman who can help out on special teams, on the power play, whatever. I hope he helps Toronto, but I don't think they're getting the player that they think they're getting, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, they might, though, man. They might take him over the edge and at least get past the first round. And a lot of people are, like, bright-eyed about things up there, but I think a lot of fans up there are also pretty fucking aware of their surroundings when it comes to that organization. They're like, yeah, we're still pretty soft in areas, and you're still letting 5 goals here and there. Goalie situation's kind of fucked up. Yeah, they still got some glaring issues. And I think a lot of people, when you're paying all that money to watch a team that you just die hard and it's everywhere around you all times, you're so committed to that team. I think a lot of people are like, nah, I'm not gonna get too high on this. I got to see what these guys do in the first round.
But I was bashing them a little bit because like when Austin Matthews had his 2-game suspension.
They're like, what happened? He tried to get the shoulder. What? Cross-checked him right in the fucking temple.
Oh, my God. You got, like, analysts up there. You got analysts saying, well, he glanced him in the shoulder and it glanced off of his shoulder and hit him right in the side of the head. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, just like when I tried to rock guys. Well, Cam got some. No, he didn't. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Tried to murder
that's what happened. That's what happened.
I mean,
but they're like, with Austin Matthews out, they're like, John Tavares, I mean, he's a seamless transition. He's showing the ability to play on the first line. I'm like, well, he makes $11 million a year. He better be able to play on the first line, dude.
He doesn't do much for me. He's probably a really good guy. I don't like the quiet, stoic type of leader. I don't. Mm-hmm. I like a little bit more emotion in my driving force, my $11 million captain. Like, I just want more emotion from a guy. Like, that's just me. And I'm not around their locker room. I don't know what he says in the locker room. I just kind of see what I see whenever they're on all the time. I just like a more of a fuck you attitude if I'm putting a C in.
Yeah. But you know what, Cam? I do, but I will say this. If it's not you, don't try to manufacture it and don't try to fake it either.
I know. 100%. Man.
And he doesn't try to act like he's something that he's not. So, I'm with you. And I love Toronto, man, because I love the history of the game. I love their passion for the game. And everything in the NHL basically is centered around the city of Toronto. Getting back to the Panthers real quick, Cam, they haven't won a round They haven't won a playoff round since 95, 96, dude.
Really?
Yes.
They haven't?
They've only made the playoffs 4 times in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that. No one talks about that, do they?
No.
Because no one cares about them. I hope people start caring about that team because you know what? That's a cool spot. If they could figure out the like something down there where that arena is or something, I don't know, like spice it up a little bit. Like that'd be just a cool place to play, man. I don't know, like the Battle, the Florida, a lot of good teams down there.
Nick Leddy, by the way, we mentioned him. We'll see what happens there. I think St. Louis may have some interest. I mean, you just got to look at, hey, if you're going to add a defenseman, I mean, you only have so many players to choose from. There's only so many guys that are left. Yeah. But teams like St. Louis are up against it, man. It's not just the Blues. It's Edmonton, some of these other teams too, man. If you don't have cap space, there's really nothing you can do. Like I hear all these frustrated fan bases being like, what is going on? Why aren't we getting anybody? The GM's asleep at the wheel. I'm like, dude, you guys don't have any cap space. Like there are rules you have to play within. There's guidelines. Yeah. You don't have cap space. I don't know what you're supposed to do. But Nick Leddy, I know Detroit had some interest in keeping him. And they kicked around a 3-year contract extension for Nick Leddy, and he wants more term than that. He wants at least a 4-year deal. So we'll see what happens with him. This guy's played 121 playoff games, Cam. That's a shit ton of playoff games for a guy who's like 30, 31 years of age right now. Had a 7-year deal with the Islanders. This guy made more money than people realize. Nick Leddy is making $7 million this season.
Wow. He's a good skater, man. He's good. He's
great skater.
He's a good player. Yeah.
He is.
Very smooth.
He is. Yeah, no, he's a real good player. So, anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Anything else that's catching your attention, Cam, around the trade deadline that you're excited about? Because you got no energy today. You're drinking the shitty-ass gas station coffee, and you look like you're about to pass out.
Oh, my stomach. Oh, you see Patty run the goal the other day and go with Reaver. I don't think he threw a punch. Hey, you know who's tough? It's goddamn Colorado. Good Lord. Like, that team, I like it, man. I like how they got that Josh, man. Who's the other big-ass son of a bitch they got? Just buckled somebody in a fight. Oh, who's that big McDermott? Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who the hell did he piss pump the other day from San Jose? Some dude with a mustache. Holy fuck. Throwing down from downtown. Caught him right in the temple. Through the helmet. Garrett Burnett style on Vandenbush back in the late 90s. Check that one out on YouTube.
Well, I like
Colorado. What?
People have been like, Colorado hasn't done anything. Like, what? They got Josh Manson. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? They're big.
Well, they've been quiet. It's like if you get out in front of the deadline, it doesn't count as a deadline move, you know? That's
smart. They got shit done, and they're kind of figuring out what else they want to do. No, they're loaded. And I like fucking Minnesota picking up some that Nicolas Delorier, who we need to get on the podcast, by the way. You know, I like Minnesota, man. They're in your face. I watched them play the other night, Andy. You know, Kiprusoff's going to do his thing 10-2 and around the offensive zone like David Perron does, but like 5 times faster, you know? Mm-hmm. And then that Marcus Foligno is literally murdering guys behind the net. Now you got Nicolas Delorier to kind of throw his weight around.
Yeah,
they're big. They got that big Greenway. They're fast. I don't know. They're good.
Yeah.
And Nashville's goddamn good. Jesus. They're flying around 100 miles an hour. Your boy fucking Yossi think he's the best of the best in the league. A little trivia question for you. You probably do know this, but of course, Philippe Forsberg breaks the franchise record in goals. Who's second? Go. Who's second?
Ooh.
Who's second?
It's not David Legwand.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Isn't that weird though? So Legwand, and then like they don't have any big superstars, right? Like think about it. Guess who's third? Defenseman. Trade.
Oh, Shea Weber.
Yeah. And then Martin Erat.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Martin Erat? And then that's somebody else that, like,
they traded Martin Erat to get Philip Forsberg. It's one of the worst deals in NHL history for the Washington Capitals. Martin Erat, by the way, just got named as like an assistant coach of the Finnish national team.
He always had that mullet. I remember Erat, number 10. I remember played against
Erat. I don't know about that last name, Erat. He was a good player, though. Forsberg, man, listen, I said this several weeks ago, and people were crushing me about it. They didn't believe me when I said, hey, Nashville's talking to teams about Philippe Forsberg. And sure enough, here we are, trade deadline day. They don't have an extension in place for him. And all the reports are that they are significantly, apart in terms of coming up with a contract resolution. Doesn't mean that they won't, but they're in a situation now. I don't see how you can trade them. Although some people are saying, hey, they're kicking the tires again on trades with teams for Forsberg because David Poile, man, he doesn't want to be in this situation that he was in several years ago with like Ryan Suter and whatnot, where you lose a franchise type player and you don't get anything in return, man. That is like significant for these NHL teams. He's in a tough spot. He's in a real tough spot because, I mean, listen, David Poile's been around. He probably knows that Nashville's not winning the Stanley Cup. I guess you just never know. I mean, anything's possible. But you have so many heavyweights, you know, coming out of the Western Conference and whatever. Are they better than Colorado? Are they better than, you know, Calgary and some of these other heavyweights? Are they even better than St. Louis, who's struggling a little bit as of late? Maybe they are. I don't know. But to lose him and not getting anything in return, man, that's risky. So we'll see how that plays out there with Philip Forsberg, man. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah, Calgary.
Cam, why aren't you talking, dude? Are you all right?
Oh, I just can't. You're just breaking up so much, or I'm breaking up. I can barely hear you. It's going in and out. Let's just wrap this up, man. It's all good. It's just breaking up. I can barely hear you.
You don't hear anything at all?
I'm hearing you now. You're good now. Just keeps breaking up.
All right, make sure you're editing that out, Brody, when I'm talking here. Real quick, Phil Kessel. We'll see what happens with Kessel too. It's kind of hard because, again, like by the time this comes out, all these trades are going to be announced and whatever. But I will say this because there's been some, you know, speculation that Kessel may not want to leave because he just had a baby, you know. And I was talking to somebody close to Kessel, and he's like, they're okay. They've got lots of resources. They got private planes.
Yeah,
he can fly wherever he needs to go, whatever, with the baby, with his wife, or whatever. So they're okay over there in Phil Kessel.
Yeah, don't feel sorry for Philippe Kessel. He's fine.
Where do you want to see Marc-Andre Fleury land?
I don't really give a shit, but I would say nowhere in the Central Division. Any competitor, go out east somewhere. Go out east somewhere. Go to Ottawa. I heard it's lovely this time of year. Where do you want to? What do you think?
I want to see him go back to Vegas.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Well, although that's not going to happen. But I mean, Vegas, man. Here they are looking for goaltending. It's just kind of funny, man. They let this guy go. They're going to regret that for a long time, even though, you know, Marc-Andre Fleury, he's a little bit older and whatever. But, you know, you put all your eggs in the Robin Leonard basket. I don't know. That's just a little bit risky.
Yeah,
now he's got injuries and whatnot, man. So,
yeah.
Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. All right, we've got Marcel Dionne on this edition. Hey, real quick before we get into that, you did something with Chicklets last night. Like anything you want to share about that experience? Because man, I need to get off of this with you. I need to get off of this with you because your energy is so bad right now. How was your experience last night doing that?
I don't know. I always worry about it. Like I said something fucking stupid or something, you know. So I always get nervous about it, but it's all good. They were just chilling. Biz's back's all fucked up. He can't even move. He's like paralyzed. I'm like, you all right?
Really?
What happened to you? He goes, I was bending over in the shower. I was cleaning my toes and it went out. I go, good God. Man, they're great. We had a good time. Ed Grinelli, man, that dude works his ass off too. Give him a little shout out. But I don't know. I don't know how I was. You know how it is, man. It was a long day. I was sweating. It did look romantic because Kate like set it up. It looked kind of cute, you know. So that was cool. But other than that, I don't. You just never know. I always feel like I'd say something stupid and it's going to come back and bite me in the ass. But whatever.
Well, you better not have said anything stupid, man. You got to pay attention to what you're saying. What'd you say that was stupid?
Oh, is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Pay attention to
what did you say that was stupid? You can't be impacting the brand on there. You're there to sell the brand, Cam.
I pumped your tires up.
Well, thank you.
They asked me about you a lot. So I'm like, what do you want to know? So I pumped you up pretty good. But yeah, it's just, Sunday 6 o'clock.
All right, tell the listeners what they can expect in this interview with Marcel Dionne.
A lot of political talk. Marcel goes, dude. He just goes and goes and goes. He's got an opinion on a lot of things that are current with, the geopolitical realm of things, I guess, over in the Ukraine. He's got an opinion on everything, on the current NHL, to politics, to money, to business, Dude, he's a very interesting dude. I don't even think we talked about his career. We were just shooting the shit about everything. I like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's good, man. He's entertaining. He just doesn't stop talking. Like he just goes, like you said. Yeah. You ask him a question, and like 10 minutes later, he's still answering the question. So he was easy to interview. He was fun, though. You got to listen closely because he's got that accent. He speaks great English, but he kind of blends words at the same time. So you just got to make sure that.
Yeah, he confused me a couple of times on some things, Andy.
Cam wasn't sure what he was saying a couple of times, but. Great player though, dude. Obviously, like legendary goal scorer, and didn't win a whole lot, and I'm sure that bothers him a little bit. Was on some shitty ass teams, but truly one of the greatest goal scorers that we've ever seen in the history of the game. I just hope these young kids like they know who Marcel Dionne is. Like he's such a famous name in hockey history, who was so good. He's not that old either, man. I mean, fuck, he was good, man. So I'm glad we got him on. Want to hear his story. Yeah, just a fun interview, like really, really interesting individual. So enjoy this one here from Marcel Dionne on the Cam and Strick podcast. By the way, our website is up and running, man. People need to go there, camandstrick.com. I love getting the messages from our listeners. People send us messages there on all the time. I'm always getting those, and it's always interesting to read. We get people who are like starting their own podcast, Cam, who like want to pay for shout outs about their podcast on our podcast. Hey, can I pay you to give me a shout out?
How much?
Of my podcast?
How much you got, boy?
I'm like, well, the inventory isn't cheap, but listen, we'll give anybody a shout out for sure. People who are doing their thing.
We'll pump up. Like, look. That's what Chicklets does with us, man. They don't have to have me on 3 fucking times. Like, they're
– well, no, they certainly don't.
Up, man. No,
you know what? That is scraping the bottom of the barrel is what they're doing.
I bring the heat for them, man. I bring the heat for them.
I was texting with Biz last night. I said, how was Cam?
What did he say? Did he say I was wasted? Because I did pace myself, but
he said you were buzzing. He said you were buzzing. I said, it's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Listen, it's Sunday. This was Cam's idea to do. First off, for people who don't know, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning right now when we're doing this. And this was Cam's idea to do it early. And
I know.
I will never do an early recording with Cam Jansen ever again. I don't think you can handle the early mornings.
No, I've been up for 3 hours. I got here. I got everything situated. My stomach started getting fucked up. And then I had to go to the bathroom. We had to cut it. And I'm like, And then I got people coming into the studio now. And I just kind of, I don't know. This is your day, Andy. This is your day. This is trade deadline. No one gives a shit about what I got to fucking say on trade. This is your goddamn day. You're going to be parked up next to fucking Army all goddamn day. You need to be on the fucking ball. Don't worry about my fucking shit. You worry about you. I brought the heat. It's all good. This is your day. People want to hear what the fuck you got to say about what's going on.
Okay.
They want to know about Castles. We'll talk next time about it.
Yeah. We should be talking on your radio show this morning. We should be telling the people what to expect for trade deadline day. I might just call into your show today.
Why don't you call in, dude? I wanted you to come on. I got guys out of town. I got new people coming in the show. I wanted your fucking ass in here, and you said something. I don't get like what the fuck. I'm actually getting up, getting organized for your day today. This is Andy's day.
Yeah.
I wanted you to call the fuck in. I got Zombo on at 8 o'clock, so do it at 9 o'clock. Calling at 9 o'clock today.
Hey,
God damn.
Whose day is it?
It's Andy's day. Hi, it's Andy's day. Good Lord. Don't worry about what the fuck my attitude is.
Cam and Strick podcast, as always, brought to you by Hair Club, Cam. I'm letting you do the live reads this morning. Talk about Hair Club.
Well, my hair, actually, I got a couple compliments last night by the boys because the front part of my hair looks pretty damn good.
What they say about it? You didn't wear a hat?
Flush. No. I wore a
really
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my front part of my hair, because of Hans Wyman Hair Club, same damn thing. They hooked me up. I could still do TV stuff and not look bald. And it's actually a good feeling. Now, if you go on the opposite side of my body and look from the back end, it's going to be like, hi, I'm bald right there. And it is what it is. But I can get that done too. It's easy. I'm telling you. Call them up. Go in and get just walk in for an evaluation. They'll tell you exactly what's going on with your hair. look, just walking into place, man. I'm telling you, I get it. Like, you don't want to talk about hair. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Get it done. Get it going while you can. Because the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be because the more hair you're going to have to fill. So figure that shit out, guys. I'm telling you, and girls, by the way. I've been through the game. I know the feeling. It's a horrible feeling. They have a ton of different options. Get on it now. Hair Club.
Oh, that was a good little pump-up speech there, Cam. People are probably running there as we speak, and they should. And go to our landing page, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. Use our promo code and just sign up for your consultation right there from our landing page. It's going to save you $250. Honestly, that's a hell of a deal. 800-279-7878. That's the phone number for Hair Club. Again, hairclub.com. All the information you want to know and that you need to know to find a resolution that's best for you, because they've got hundreds and hundreds of resolutions, over 1,200 locations throughout North America. They are incredible, incredible people who want to help you, and they can help you. Hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. That's our own Hair Club page. Go to it today. Get all the information and sign up for your consultation right there from our landing page. You're going to save $250, so it's well worth it. All right, CarShield and CarShield.com, Cam.
Well, I've been in a couple jams. I'm not going to lie to you. The goddamn potholes after this weird winter we had in St. Louis, they're like 15 feet deep. Every time I go over one, I'm like, fuck. You know how it hits you? You're like, well, bam. You're like, oh, God. And you look at your tire thing. I'm like, oh, please don't pop out again. But if it does, you just call CarShield to have a guy come whoop right there in 2 seconds. What do you want to take it, Cam? Well, I like this auto body shop because I went to school with the dude, and he'll hook me up. So they take it there. They call you back. They give you a rental. It's the easiest damn thing in the world. You just pay monthly, and they take care of everything. They'll put a package together for you. They're great people. They love hockey, trustworthy. That's why they're gigantic. Love CarShield. Fucking potholes in St. Louis, so. God damn.
Ooh. 800-857-2481. That's the phone number. 800-857-2481. Mention that promo code CAM, which is so embarrassing, especially after today. You drinking that gas station coffee. I mean, listen, your inability to be fully connected and up and running. I thought you were used to this. I thought you could handle it. And here I am way more alert than you.
I know.
800-857-2481. I just ordered a disco stick, Cam. You ever heard of the disco stick?
No, Andy, I haven't.
It keeps popping up on everything, like on Instagram, whatever. It takes all the bags and stuff like under your eyes. It's for like men, and it's in GQ magazine and stuff. So I should have bought you one too. I'm going to buy you a disco stick.
Oh, my eyes look like fuck. Oh, God, I look like
I'm looking at you through the video right now, and it's not a good sight. I just hope you looked a little more presentable, dude, when you did Chicklets, because that is brand recognition.
No, Kate put makeup on me. I didn't put clear eyes in. Kate put makeup on me last night.
She did not.
Fuck yeah, she did. Why wouldn't she?
Makeup.
Do you want me to help the brand or no? Like, you want the crow's feet on my eyes and shit?
Oh, my God. 800-857-2481. Again, that promo code is CAM. Just do it. And then you pick your mechanic. You can pick where you want to have it serviced. You never know when something's going to go down. Make sure you're protected with our friends over there at CarShield. Do it today, and they hook you up with a rental car as well. Loosey Goosey, Cam. You got that going? Let me see it.
Oh, I got that right motherfucking hat. Right motherfucking hat. I like the gum, too, by the way. Mm-hmm. Man, anytime you're craving a chew, you put one of these bad boys in. You good to go. What? Let me see right here. Oh, I haven't had this cider flavor. I'm going to try that mug out. I like the cinnamon. Yeah. That's my jam right there.
Cinnamon. I like the cinnamon, too. Again, listen, nicotine, tobacco, it can be very addictive. We all know that. And people who are still smoking cigarettes, man, in 2022, man, there's a better alternative out there for you. I can tell you that right now.
Such a turnoff. I don't care how hot you are as a woman. If you're smoking darts, that is such a turnoff. And a dude, by the way. I said this the other day. I'm like, if I see a dude smoking darts, not at the bar after drinking, but if I automatically kind of look at you like, I could probably take you if push came to shove and I need to protect myself because you're smoking dart. Like, I'm in better shape than you. I automatically denounce you because you have a dart in your hand as far as like me like beating you up and stuff. Does that make sense? Like, as a guy, you smoking, it just kind of looks like you just, I don't know.
Like, what do you think of the guy at the bar the guy at the bar who's trying to wheel He's smoking cigarettes. Like your first impression is what?
Well, you're not an athlete.
You don't have to be You don't have to be an athlete.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're ripping darts, I'm like, you're not an athletic dude. For the most,
you know what though? I've seen a lot of NHL players over the years, not as much recently, but back in the day, I used to see players smoking all the time.
I know they can't do that anymore.
No. So anyway,
can't keep up.
Now they use their loosey-goosey. Lucy.com. Go there today. Use the promo code Cam and Strick, though. That's very important. Cam always fails to mention that. Cam and Strick, that's the promo code. It's going to save you money, 20%. Try all the flavors. They've got the lozenges. They've got the gum. The pouches are incredible too, man. If you're trying to get off of tobacco, this is the best way to do so. Stop smoking and doing whatever else you're doing, okay? And just try these pouches from Lucy, all different flavors, and they're truly incredible. I got to give a warning here because this is obviously important. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is a addictive chemical. So all of a sudden, so make sure you know that about Lucy. Nicotine is a addictive chemical. Lucy.com, go there today. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. How about Bellman, Cam? Go ahead.
Well, I know the gas prices are high, but they're going to go down eventually in the next decade, hopefully. But yeah, Kate and I both are looking for new vehicles. I do love my truck. I kind of want to still keep a truck. I'm not ready for the electric car scene yet. I'm not there yet. Eventually, we'll probably all get there. But Bellman has a lot to choose from. I mean, they truly do. And there's no swinging dicks when you go in there, meaning like your wife could walk in that mug and be like, hi, I like this car. And they won't have like 10 dudes swinging their dick around, telling your wife how cool they were in high school compared to you. And she's like, what the fuck is this? No, none of that shit. None of that shit. You don't get harassed when you go in there. It's quite lovely. They have so much to choose from. Love them. Great for the city. They love hockey too, by the way. Cool people.
Oh, yeah, real cool people. Buick GMC on one side of the street, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. Get a car that's good for you. Spring is here. Summer's around the corner, man. Get something nice in time for the warmer months. And get out there to Troy, Missouri, and say hi to our boy Danny Boy, man. Dan Bellman, Kyle Bellman, Dale, the whole crew. Everybody over there with Bellman, man, they will service you. And, again, they want to buy your used car too, man. If you're in the lease, they'll get you out of that lease as well. Best customer service you'll find anywhere. Cam's looking at that pink Jeep, small doors, or 2 doors, small wheels. Nothing wrong with that, Cam. I'm not going to judge you in terms of what you want. You can get the pink Jeep, top down, soft top, and you can get that, dude. They'll put that on order for you if they don't have it on a lot, and they'll get it for you in no time, baby, over there with Bellman and Bellman.com. All right, the BBB, before we get to Marcel Dionne, the Better Business Bureau. Cam, I love talking about the Better Business Bureau. There's very few things in life that I enjoy talking about more than what people do over there with the BBB and how they impact our community. Can you give them just a couple examples of what the BBB does for us?
Well, do you like bed bugs?
No.
Because I don't. I don't like hotels with bed bugs. So you go to BBB, you check out, they get reviews. If you're going somewhere, you want to get a hotel, you want to go to a restaurant, you want to do this, you want to do that, go through the BBB, check out, see what the reviews are, see how they rate it, and know what the hell you're getting yourself into. That's my my thing on that. Is like, you always want to be prepared when you're going with your wife, with your kids. You need to know the extra reviews from this company on some of these hotels and this shit that you're going to be spending money and time, and you want to have quality, lovely time with your family, and you don't want to be eaten by fucking bed bugs.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And you get all the reviews that you need to know and all the information you want to know. More importantly, when you go to bbb.org, you find the companies you can trust. Here's what I like, too, about the bbb.org. You learn about the newest scams impacting consumers in our area, dude. There's a lot of companies out there scamming people, Cam. bbb.org. Get there today, the Better Business Bureau. Say hi to Natasha real quick and Chris.
What's up? What's up, you two? Hi, Natasha. Hey, Chris.
Great people over there at the BBB. All right, Marcel Dionne, NHL legend, one of the greatest goal scorers in the history of the game. Very opinionated, too. Very entertaining. People are going to love this here. Episode 178. The one and only Marcel Dionne on the Cam Strick podcast. The Cam Strick podcast is brought to you by CarShield. You know, nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and you know right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now to the interview.
Hello.
Marcel
Dionne. How are you? Hey, what's your nickname again? I forget.
No, don't go there.
What are you outside? Where are you at right now? Where are you living?
I have always lived in the peninsula in Jagr.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jagr Falls.
Yeah, he's
beautiful area. So I have always come back. I lived in Buffalo for 15 years. I live in South Carolina. I live in New York. Live in Detroit. Live in L.A.
You're all over.
I always come back here.
You and I have a lot in common. We should just do this conversation here. I mean, South Carolina, Buffalo. I mean, that's kind of like my roots. You
have nothing in common with him, Andy. Settle down.
And your scoring ability. Hey, you know what, though? You've got that Blue Line Diner, right? Is that where you're doing the show from today? Are you at work or no?
No, we, well, now that this is going to get a little political, right? It's just like, first of all, it's just one thing to talk about hockey, but I have educated myself with people, and I have always stayed with the public. And at the start of COVID, I knew when politicians were involved, this is a true story, I'm telling you. I says, we're done. I told my daughter, I says, hey, let's pack our bags. I says, you're going to lose a fortune here. They have no clue. There's no leadership. They're all over the place. They don't know what's talking. And that was the start that doesn't matter, like what you think are right. I'm independent, but can you imagine looking back if Donald Trump doesn't get that vaccine at the time of the election? What would be today with that goofball? You know what I'm talking about?
You damn right. I know we
know what you're talking about.
Because if you guys are going to talk about hockey, this is it, man. There's losers and winners, and that's the way it is. Winners find a win to win, and sometimes losers find no way at all. But then we did that. It was a very, very successful company. My daughter took a hit, and like many people, many enterprises, and the parties could not get together. They couldn't figure out. They loaned you money, but still got to pay it back. And now we're seeing a little bit the light at the end of the tunnel. But for me, it didn't matter. I'm 70 years old. I put a few things together, and my daughter's back on track. So is my son-in-law. And but for a lot of other people, trust me, guys, it ain't happening. It's devastating. Devastating.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. I mean, and you're like a lot of people who have been through that. So, hey, listen, we'll talk about anything on here, Marcel, by the way. Nothing's off limits, you know. I mean, we get into the hockey, but we get into, you know, everything really. And people want to know how you're doing and everything else that you have going on, because you've got that memorabilia business too, right? That's still going strong, correct?
Well, we shut that down too. We had a retail combination. Very, very unique. It was a diner, and we collected the licensing product. Just anything's got a logo on it, baseball, football, you name it. So we attracted about 80,000 to 90,000 people a year. And this is a mecca for hockey tournaments. You go to Niagara Falls, Buffalo, all the small town around the area. And so we had a lot of teams coming from Toronto, so they would come down from breakfast on weekends. And that was a really good money maker. So being there, I had opportunity to speak to them. They would always leave with the autographs or whatever it is. I show them some action shots, on a DVD where they didn't see me play. But then that's what they all say. But after they left, they says, "Holy Jesus, you were that good." I said, "Yeah, I know that was that good."
Look me up.
So what happened, guys? Here's what happened. Like anything else, to the people that are listening out there, there comes a time that enough is enough. And when that thing started with COVID, I realized I can't do this anymore. Shaking hands every day and communicate to them. By the time you lose a few friends who are hockey players, you say, "Hey, hold it! I'm right there. My age is right there, and I gotta do better things where I get the freedom to move around or do events with people that I don't have to worry about getting back, because I had to be there. Some people from out of town, that's what always happens. They come and say, well, I was there the other day, you were not there. I says, yeah, but I'm there 364 days, and you missed me that day.
So besides doing all that stuff, and like, what are your hobbies? I mean, you say you got a place in South Carolina. Are you on the beach? You like boats? You like to fish?
I've done all that. Listen to me. I have everything up front, like when I went to California. At the age of 26, I had 24 pieces of property in California.
Oh.
We hit the recession in the early 80s. I saw the gas line, guys. I'm telling you right now, I saw that on even day and odd day. That's when you were allowed to get your gas. So now you see what's happening. It's just a sort of, if there's a recession, it's a nightmare. And it will happen. I know it will. But I had all this. I had Palm Springs. I was in Vegas, San Diego. My wife was the queen there until I left. I said, I have enough too. I'm leaving. But I have no incentive to go south. I have no incentive to get on a plane for 5 hours. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Europe. Hey, talk about the goofball, Vladimir Putin. I met him. You know what? He's just a little guy. Yeah, looking back, I make sure I was right beside him. And you know what? I don't care if he was doing some judo or something. I would have given him a freaking right elbow right on the forehead.
He might poison you, though. But, I don't know.
Yeah, so and that's what I did. The whole key right now, it's relaxation. Like right now today, you catch me, I'm spreading wood. I found a way to do a small business at the time where everybody was looking, and we do extremely well. So we sell firewood. We deliver. We do this. So my hobbies come down here. We have animals. We have geese. We got ducks. You name it. And it's mental therapy. And, during the pandemic, a lot of people find a way to don't find work. Me, I never stop. And your conditioning is important. I'm stiff, and I was never tall, but I'm stocky. I got to have certain tools for me to lift up things.
I get that. And he does too.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird back in the late 70s, early 80s when there was a decline in everything? You're talking about gas prices, but I think that the whole world, I remember there was a Time magazine article that said the freeze is coming. They thought there was going to be another ice age coming in the late 70s, and now it's all about getting warm. So it just shows 40 years, people change their mind. Things change.
Yeah, well, here's what happened, too. It's funny that you talk to me like this. Anything that I'm telling you, and the people that are listening right now, I live that. I've been there. I've been in the oil patch. I've been in Calgary. I see how it's done. It's not pretty. It's devastating for the land, right? But when I was with all my friends there, they says, Marcel, you know what? Sometimes people forget this. How do you get lights? How do you get heat?
Yep.
So what we haven't done very well, and I understand that, we haven't done well what they're doing right now in the United States, so we've got to go green. I said, there we go. You go green the next day. Instead of these parties sitting down and the president says, here's what we're going to do. Here's the game plan here.
Yep.
But there's so much money involved, guys, that it's billions of dollars, and then we have a segment of the population. I ain't touching anything. Mm. My problem with this is let's say Trudeau writes a check for $500 million that goes somewhere, right? Well, you're talking about the Great Lakes. There's some issues. Why don't you give the $500 million right now so we can have better water for the future of our kids and grandkids and start somewhere? Mm. Oh no, then they'll give you 1.5 million. How does that work?
Oh my God! And it doesn't.
You surround yourself, guys, with very, very good people, but the conversation is not there. The politicians are corrupted.
Yep.
They just don't know. And you know how many of them are driving freaking their electric cars now? Ask
None
that
of them.
question.
None
how many
of them.
So
zero.
But you know what, you guys? The people have enough.
Yep.
You saw what happened in Canada, like in Ottawa, Toronto, and Quebec. Windsor. There's a segment of the population, those truckers, they didn't want to listen to them. Well, guess what? They will be back. Those days are gone. We're always watching other countries where, well, what are they fighting the government for? Well, I guess that's what it is. Yep. Enough. You have to have a dialogue, guys. just what makes you successful, it's probably because you prepare for your interviews. You got to know. You got to do a little bit of research. If you don't do that, I'm not your guy. Because I am for everybody. Hockey was my life. It's been very good. Sports has been very good to you. I'm very respectful. But I went on with my life, because that's what that Zelensky, they all made fun of him being an actor or something. You think like a politician's being a politician on his life is that smart? No, it's common sense. Common sense takes you a long way, and you're a good listener. That's the way I look at it.
Reagan was a actor too, by the way, and he did pretty good.
No, he wasn't. He was an actor, and a lot of the politicians are actors too. So that's
they're all scum.
They're acting up there. Hey, listen, before we move on, I want to hear about your interaction with Putin, though. Like, how did you meet him? Why did you meet him? Where were you? Like, were you over in Russia? Was that hockey related? While you were over there?
Yeah, I was. When I was retired, I probably went to Russia 5 times. I played with in 1972. I was there with Team Canada. That was during the red, the red curtain there, man. It's just like Soviet Union, and we had a taste of that. Are you freaking kidding me? It was awful. It was just terrible. And you go back in the days in the 70s. We were just starting to get the country. My mom and dad didn't have any money. So was the neighbors. So I had a chance. Then we went back and played the World Championships against the guys, and they were great guys, But you knew if they were with the Army or if they were KGB, they were not very friendly. They were very, very cold. But most of the guys were phenomenal. And then they kept in touch over the years. We had that with Trechak and some of these Yakushev and you name it. And we had a opportunity for celebration. So they invited us to go 72 to have they had a little deal in Russia. So we met him. He sat there and we had discussion, and it was pretty impressive. He loves hockey. I don't know if you saw him. He played hockey. He scored 7 goals in one game. You should have seen how he scored those goals. Everybody got it out of the way.
They all moved like
everybody got out of the way.
Got out of the way, and then he does a victory lap. He does a victory lap, and the carpet was out there. He trips and falls.
And the guy who laid the carpet's never been seen again. Never been seen again. The guy who put the carpet down. So
hey,
this is true. I mean, you guys should laugh about it. I mean,
it's true.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But here's what happened. When I went in 72, there was nothing. It was just like starvation. Lines to go to the line up to get some food. But eventually, keep on looking. I went up within 5 or 6 years. When I went back, things were different. The big stores were in. When we were just in Moscow there, it was just like, unless you went to Leningrad, then you look around, it was spectacular, right? Just so much history. And we took the train, go to Leningrad. But as soon as you leave Moscow, you want to see people that are poor. You want to see their tractors. They don't have any freaking tractors. So this is what it is. That's what in America now, like with all that stupidity, we don't understand. This is the reality that most of the world is in that position. We should be thankful every day, that you're a Republican or a Democrat. That democracy. Put your points, but you gotta, instead of hating each other, you have to find what's the best for everybody.
Exactly.
Can you imagine a coach? Listen to this. I did that. I never had any problem with any coaches, right? But I've seen when a coach got a player, didn't like him. He didn't like him for what? Get rid of him. He just didn't like the guy. I said, how does that work? I said, this guy can play. Let him play. And I've seen that's over and over in sports. It's unbelievable. Then you get fired to get rehired. Scotty Bowman told me many years ago, he says, you do recycling, Marcel.
Exactly.
Pat Burns, the late Pat Burns, was when he signed his contract, I think it was with Jersey, he said, I'm good for 3 years.
It's a revolving door.
Everybody knows, hey, their time is coming. Everybody has that expiration date, right? They know it's coming.
Let me ask you something, Marcel. And with current times right now, with especially like Alexander Ovechkin and the Russian players in the NHL, they're kind of taking a beating from fans about supporting Putin and things like that, and they're kind of like going against the players, and the players are mostly like, no, we came over here, our family's over here, we're going to school over here, like we have nothing to do with him. I mean, do you think that's fair that the fan base is kind of?
Well, here's the first thing that happened, and he made a mistake when Ovi said, "Well, here's what it is," and he danced around. And says, "Well, he's my president."
Yep.
Listen to this. When I heard that, I said, "He is done. He's toasted." Okay, so that he should have paused. He says, "Hey, listen, just go into positive." Says, "Listen, I'm not for it. We're great people. We're very thankful that we live in America. But you know what? Excuse me, it was a chicken shit." He's just like his association with Putin is very big. Most of the guys, and you have to make a decision. You just can't ride the fence. Now, if you ask me if it's fair, it's not fair for any Russians that live in North America. They're good people. They got caught. And the ones that just do it, I would never do this to my neighbor if he was. I would never. You know, they're here. Their kids are here.
Yeah.
They love our system, but that's what war does.
Yep.
It's about stupidity, guys. It's about lives. So now it's not about money. See, these guys make a lot of money and they realize, like, this is not nice. I don't want to be part of that. Good. And it's so sad, and I feel bad for him. And I heard what Dominic Hasek said.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. People don't know. He's from Czechoslovakia. And the Russians invaded Czechoslovakia.
Yep.
And when we played in the World Championships, you want to see a war between the Czechs and Russians?
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God. It's like the Finns playing the Swedes.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Yeah, some serious hatred. But, you know, and here's where I stand on, because you're right. You know, once Ovi made that comment and the fact that he's got a picture of him and he supported him in the past, because I can't sit here and say that Russian players listen, of course they have nothing to do with the war. They're not involved in politics, but let's not fool ourselves. There's a lot of Russian players in the NHL that support Putin, and I'm sure that there's some Russian players in the NHL that don't support Putin. It is what it is. Yeah. But do you feel like we need to know? And let me ask you this, Marcel. If you're a Russian player, don't you have to be a little bit careful and calculated in terms of what you say, considering your family is still over there in Russia, and you need to protect your family, right?
Okay, well, here's what happened. To this day, even when I turned pro, management was never proactive about that. And what happens now, because you guys said social media, which I told my daughter and my kids, you start writing your life on this thing, you go the wrong way, they're going to kill you. And I said, you won't see me do that. And that's the big difference, guys. The things travel so fast, and most of the people don't even know the story. And he says, okay, now I'm going to go the opposite, okay, for how it can't be wrong. I watched the Heritage Hockey game on Sabres and the Maple Leafs, right? And I don't know if you saw Matthews when he cross-checked Daly.
Oh, yeah.
So, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's what it is. Do you know how it came out? It came out like there was a cross-check. He had a high cross-check. He almost took his head off.
Yep.
The stick went right to his neck. That was a hard blow. That was a dirty blow. That was wrong. When I saw that at 5 games, and you know why? You only have one neck. And here's what happened as a hockey player. I was a goal scorer. I was around that net a lot. When I was there, I knew this was a defenseman territory, and I was going to get hit. Well, Matthews didn't like it. This Daly, he gave him a really good hard check. He hit the crossbar, and Matthews 6'4". But the way he came back, I'm sure he didn't intend that. But if you watch his stick, it's just sort of kind of grazed on the shoulders, and boom, right on the neck. I can't believe this guy didn't get hurt.
I know.
That was bad.
I can't believe he get buckled on
and
that.
They come back and says, we'll give you 2 games. Well, it doesn't matter if you're a great player. In the rule book, you can't do that.
Yeah. No, and people are trying to defend him up in Toronto because he's a guy who hasn't he hadn't had a whole lot of penalties throughout his career. Yeah. He's been a lady being like finished in the top 10 several times. Whatever. Like it doesn't matter. It's not about the player. It's about the act. And listen, I didn't like that at all. Plus, a 21-year-old kid, from Sweden, I guess maybe that doesn't matter either, but it's not a guy that, he's got to protect himself thinking that he's going to all of a sudden get his stick up high either,
Exactly.
Well, when the Swedes came in the league, I remember Phil Esposito, he hated the Swedes. He says, they're a bunch of chicken, right? So Borje Salming, Hall of Famer, really stood his grounds. But over the years when he played, he took an abuse from a lot of players for nothing at all. So this kid, I watched him, he did not back down. I watched him, he sat on the bench, he didn't say anything, he didn't even touch his neck, and I thank God he might have had to stiffen up the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Then another teammate came in and said something. I said, I'm really impressed with that. He took it as a man, but that was not the right way to do it.
Yeah, I can't believe he stood up after that. Yeah. I mean, it was right in the temple. How the hell do you eat that?
You know what though? What you said though, Marcel, you're right. Because growing up watching Brett Hull too here, he used to get just absolutely destroyed in front of the net, and they knew, just like you did, you go to that area of the ice, you're gonna take some punishment from the opposing D. Now these guys are like, what? What, you touched me?
You touched me? Oh, God.
and they take it personal, and all of a sudden, that's how they react because they don't expect it. They're not used to it.
Yeah. It's a physical game, and the referees, you got to look at the rule books and try to be consistent. Sometimes they miss. But it is what it is. It goes fast. But here's what happened, too. The way we have look at it, sometimes, because of in the action, Darlene and what he did, it's not the same. You see how bad it is once you see the replays. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. It's so fast, it's so quick. It happened. It's an incident. Okay, boom. But when you go back and look on the replays, he could have killed me.
Yeah.
He could have broke my neck. It's just like, and my dad was 6'2", and he said, he didn't like see me play hockey. He says, I don't like to see all the hitting that. I said, Dad, it's nothing. They hit me, I get back up, I do this way. He says, I still don't like it. And sometimes you have some guys that fail you. I never had a concussion, so that's pretty good too.
Hey, listen, I want to go back to when you were a kid, you're growing up. When did you know all of a sudden that you had this talent in hockey and that you could go on to become, truly one of the all-time great goal scorers in the history of the game? At what age did you realize you were a little bit different than the rest of the kids, Marcel?
I never thought that way, but now you ask me, people who says, you were a great player. Says, I knew for a long time. You don't have to tell me. But I was born in front of I wasn't born in front of a schoolyard. It was very easy to have access. Started to skate when I was 2.5, and I was wearing my Montreal Canadiens. My mom had the toque and the little jersey. But things happened with around 8 years old, because then I was just played pickup hockey. Organized hockey was very difficult, and it was all house league, not like today. Just get all these rep teams and selection and all that stuff. So I was fortunate that my uncle, my dad was not in sports, took me to the arena. And when I first got there, it was organized. I was a little bit panicky, and I was going offside because I played outdoor. There was no red line, no blue line. We basically have one TV, and then a lot of times hockey was on the radio. So somebody kept on yelling on my team, "He's stupid. What's the matter? You're going offside, right?" I started to cry. That I remember. Here's what happened the next year. I went back, and the same kid that said that to me says, "Here's the puck. Try to take it away from me." That was it. Then says, "Holy Jesus, you're really good. You're really good." And as I went along, I played with two of the greatest players that I have ever seen, French-Canadian, Guy Lafleur and Gilbert Perreault. So we all played at the same time. Gilbert was a year older. He lived 30 miles down the road. But Guy Lafleur was down in Thirst, so a little bit towards to Montreal and Ottawa. But at the age of 9, 10 years old, you should have seen us play in the Pee Wee tournament in Quebec City. We did things that we were way ahead of the game. And he had a shot as a Pee Wee that shoot the puck as hard as a midget hockey player, trust me. 10,000 people, standing ovation. So it didn't start just with Gretzky and Sydney. We had our ways too, but it was not how big it is now, because everybody, the day they put the skates on, it says, "Oh my God, I want to play the NHL." Well, it never happened with me. I said it's one trip at a time, and I had a lot of things not going for me, but I was very confident. And again, I didn't know that. I just played. I loved the game. So I didn't think how good I was. I just loved to play, and it says, "Oh, it can happen." And that's what I did in business. I never asked how much money I'm going to make. I says, "Hey, if I make it happen, I'm going to make plenty of money."
Damn right.
So that was very simple for me.
Well, so you played in the Q, but then you started playing in the O, and then I think you went back to the Q, and then like you were after a game, like I think there was like a big mob going on in Quebec City, and they mobbed your bus. Like, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's that was a thing going on, and in those days, there was a group called the FLQ, which it was like the terrorists at the time. French Canadian, English. They didn't get along very well. So being two French Canadian, I had another player with me. We played with St. Catharines Blackhawks, and then we went against the Memorial Cup with the Ramparts, and there was a lot of issues in Quebec. They want to separate from Canada or something. So same thing. I got caught. You talk about the Russians. So now everybody loves me. Everybody loves me in St. Catharines and Ontario, and they all hate me in Quebec. I said, that doesn't work like that. So my parents had phone calls at their house threatening them and so on. So I lived that, and this is crazy. And my guys were very supportive. So we never finished the series. The parents were so much abused, and the booster club guys, it was terrible. And we had a tough team. We had a lot of guys that could fight. And we lost the first game, and that kind of caught us off guard. And I didn't like that because I knew the guys didn't know. They were not going to be ready to see what's going on in Quebec. So we won the second, lost the next two, went back. They played the game in a Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens, because they're obviously, 17,000 people. They were a bigger rink, and they wanted so many tickets. So we beat them. And what happened, the parents didn't want to have the kids going back, the players, and we had a vote, and the players, and then me and Pierre was a tough guy. He says, we got to go back. And they stuck the Memorial Cup there. So every time it's mentioned to Guy Lafleur, he goes, you guys were a bunch of chicken. I said to him, I said, let's have it the other way around. You would have seen that. We were. So the owner of the team got suspended for 1 year, and Quebec went on to play another round against I think it was Edmonton in those days, and that was the Memorial Cup.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah, because
crazy time.
Yeah, they had to move it to a neutral site. I mean, they're attacking your bus. I mean, they had to be scary. Hey, listen, I'm curious because, like you mentioned, like your mom getting you the Montreal Canadiens sweater. You're a young kid. You're friends with Guy Lafleur. He gets drafted first overall to Montreal. You're second overall to Detroit. Were you a little bit jealous that he got to go to Montreal and you didn't, or were you just excited to be able to get into the National Hockey League?
Never crossed my mind. They called me to show up. I was not going to show up. Like right now, they stand there, introduce, they put the hat. That was not like that then. And everybody looks good. The parents are crying. The mother's crying. The parents are hugging. The family is there. My family was not there. Keith's family was not there. And, we've known each other for so long, and people don't know that. So, like right now, he's got some big time health issues.
Yeah.
And I have people, they did a video about cancer. The NHL alumni. He says, well, how come you didn't do one? I said, didn't do one. You don't know that I talked to him. We discussed. I know where he's from. I know exactly some of his friends. So from the time you know him, I know all his family. I know his wife very well. And it's very tough. That's more tough for me than anything else. That's when you look at your life, you say, hey, every day's a good day. But he, when you talk 1 and 2, I got to Detroit. He got off with a good team. I didn't have that. My biggest disappointment going into the NHL after 2 months. You guys got to laugh when I got to tell you. After 2 months with the team, I'm the best player on the team. I said, how does that work? I'm playing with guys that have 50. I said, well, you got to listen to it. I got guys that 15 years in the league. And I'm going, they can't skate. They can't shoot the puck, but they're all good guys. You know what? It's just, but I played with a lot of emotion, right? And they couldn't keep up with me. Just that. And the other thing one thing that I was not ready about, the drinking. I was shocked. Guys, there was so much drinking in those days. Because it is, and you can't be, it's a question of doing drugs and with the guys today, but those were serious issues. Some guys have had problems, so.
Well, it's different.
The rest is a little bit history. It's just like I played with some great guys. You can't score all those goals without the help of other players. There's a puck. You got to chase the puck. You got to touch it. I was good at finishing it. I was good at make guys better because I played with, like I said, a lot of emotion, a lot of intensity. But guys love to play with me. Do you know why? Now they had a chance to score.
They're getting their cookies. Damn right they are, Marcel. But it's funny you bring it's not funny, but the drinking part, like back then, I guess, that's the only thing you could do to get the pain away, right? I mean, they didn't have that many pills and you didn't have the expert doctors that help you with different things, sleeping meds and stuff like that. Like, it's just like, I'm going to go home and drink.
The stress.
And I'm going to drink myself to sleep and then I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to take the pain away. I mean, right? I know it's a simplistic viewpoint, but it's kind of true.
But here's what happened too. I think when the fighting, and there was always fighting. I was never, I could never agree with these brawls, like the days of the Flyers and so on, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. The fighting, let's say it started 15 years ago, 20, that's almost 20 right now. There was a lot of heavyweights. There's a lot of heavyweights. You could have it, see the days of John Ferguson, one of the all-time great, and Noel Picard, but they were not there to just boom, boom, boom. That's it. Now, what happens, and thank God it stopped, it's just those guys all got hurt. Sooner or later, and I've learned this from Tiger Williams, he was a close-in fighter, right? He didn't stay back, and so he might get an uppercut, but basically you get it around his head. But when you have guys that stand there, and you guys seen it for a while, the guys are knocked out. The guy is 6'4", 6'5". It hurts.
Oh, yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does.
And you go to the bench. It's all right. That was a good one. So it's awful. I never liked that. Anybody that fight, I says, hey, you didn't lose a fight. He says, it is what it is. It's over with. But some guys went on to fight quite a bit, and without saying anything, just like you said, certain things are clicking, and suddenly you don't say anything, and then, like myself, getting away from the game, and I heard some of these kids committed suicide, and they go back on it. It's awful. It's just awful.
You're right.
It's not what the game is supposed to be. You know what I mean? So, like you watch when at Heritage Hockey, right? After all this boom, bing, bing, bang, boom, they didn't know if they were shaking heads at the end of the game. And you say, oh, well, that's the way it is, right? But I hope we don't hear about this anymore. It's tragic for the player itself, but what about the family? What about the fans? It just can't. Yeah. Devastating, guys.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a great player. It's just devastating. That's not what the game is all about.
Okay, so listen. Before there was Gretzky in L.A., there was you. I mean, you were the most well-known player. You were the big dog, and obviously a big-time celebrity when it came to hockey in Los Angeles. There, Marcel. So, what was life for you like in Southern California? You get out there. Are you wheeling and dealing with celebrities? You hanging out with big movie stars, or are you keeping to yourself and just hanging out with your teammates?
I didn't even hang around with the teammates either. They were too much intimidated. I'll tell you why. It's so funny. Like, first time, well, anyway, when I played in Detroit, I went to Los Angeles. You get to the airport. I tell the guys, we're playing Vancouver, we're playing LA, then we got to go to play in Oakland. And the guy said, well, what do we bring for clothes? He says, bring all your summer's clothes. But you live with 2 feet of snow, so you go along. Then you have Denver too. So, but the whole thing is they had an opportunity. It was Jack Kent Cook then when I went there, and they made the trade. And all I heard everybody say, it's really tough to play there. It's really tough to concentrate because you got so many other things to do. You know, the guys got little. They buy the best cars, a convertible, and you know, when you win 6-2, you're going home. The top is down, but when you lose 6-2, the top is up. The beaches, and then family, friends. They don't come down to just visit; they come down to stay. So most of the guys were just had a tough time with that. For me, forget it. I said, "Here's what we're going to do." My wife says, "We've got an extra car just for friends to come in." Says, "You want to see Disneyland? Here's a car. Here's a map. See you later."
See you later.
I says, "I got a game tonight." That says, "Yeah." And we had the pool. I never swam during the season. I never played golf. I didn't. It was just you got to play, and it's very difficult. But I still did it there. Then the Montreal Riders would come down and says, "Oh well, you have no pressure here." Says, and I really laugh at that. That says, one day, you're not understand. What are you talking about? No pressure. He says, well, how well are they doing this year after they did so well last year in the playoffs, right? So you have to be ready for that. But you still got to perform. You still got to go out there. And I'm telling you, passion of the game, that's what I had. And when you have injuries, you carry on. You don't complain. I never had any problem with any coaches. And some of them didn't have the tools, but you got to play. You got to play. And the other teammates says, well, we need another coach. I said, don't go there. You'll be gone before they get rid of him. And that was a tough part of the game. But it was a great place to play, I'll tell you. And I firmly believe at the time, one day, teams like LA and Anaheim, San Jose at the time says somebody's going to win the cup. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. Then you see that Tampa Bay. I mean, do you need snow, guys? I mean, saying you guys like St. Louis, no. And it's the frame of mind. It's just like it is what it is. You got to get yourself mentally tough. That's what happens with great players, mentally tough. And most of the guys will score a couple of goals, and then you don't see them for another month. I said, no, you got to get another one the next day.
Yep. Yep.
But they were great times. Believe me, there's no such thing. And thank God that this guy Enshute bought the team and built a building downtown. Because, it was tough there when Gretzky left after this what happened. He turned that whole thing around, and suddenly Becknall got to go to jail.
We had
that
him
was
on.
Devastating.
Yeah, we had him on.
We had him on the podcast. He was a great guy.
We've had Gretzky on too, actually,
yeah,
and Luc Robitaille, who lived with you as a young kid. Like, did you know he was going to be special? Right when he's coming onto the scene, Steve Duchesne, Jimmy Carson. I mean, some of these guys who came onto the scene there with LA. Like, did you know these guys were going to be good? And like, what led to you all of a sudden leaving and heading to New York?
Yeah, I knew this right away. And Luke and Jimmy. Jimmy made a difference to it. If we had another bed in the room, Jimmy would have come and stayed with us. But that's the first thing I said. And again, it's another thing, right? We didn't have so many of those agents getting involved, and the money was not as big as what it is today. But I knew, and I said, they're going to get trapped. And I said, Luke, I said, I knew his family. I met the family. I said, you're going to stay with me for a while. I'll take care of you guys too, Duchesne and Jimmy Carson. Just got a house next door. And I said, don't worry about buying a car. Don't worry about car insurance. Don't worry about that. It's all going to happen. Focus on the game.
Yeah.
We're going to have the pregame game at my house, and then you guys go and do whatever you want. And then after that, because it happens so fast that you forget that the season is over. It says, well, I'm a rookie, right? And I hate that when it says a rookie. No, the time you put the skates on, you're there. You got to make it. You can't wait to say, oh, well, and there's a lot of things, a lot of mental preparation. Then you fly everywhere. Just we didn't have charters the way it is. I've seen one of their planes and said, are you kidding me? We didn't have that. We have to chase the pizzas when we get late on the road. We had no food. So, and the guys prior to us had nothing. So it's the great one. I not text him. I left a message. I don't know if he ever got it. You get a lot of people around him, but I told him, I said, I know you. I saw him cry. I told him, I said, you just gotta freaking love it here. You just gotta love it.
Yeah,
and he took advantage of that, right? And he never made the money that these guys are making today.
No.
You know what? An average guy, that's what Wayne made in his career. But he took off, and he put up the numbers, and he came close to win that cup against Montreal. And but it is what it is, right?
Did you get along with Pat Quinn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. He sometimes I love Pat. Right? Well, first of all, I played against him. And just as a joke, right? Where he's stalking on the ice and he was chewing that goddamn tobacco, right? The frickin' just all
the chaw. Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
Talking this and that, and we had some big tough guys on our team, and he said this and that, and I said, Pat, you were not that great at defenseman. I played against you. You was in Atlanta. I said, yes, I go around you. I mean, it just was like nothing. And then I could look at him like he didn't know what to say, and I said, but actually, there's one thing I didn't know though. It's when I went around. Where are you going to hit me with that stick?
Yeah, exactly.
So all the guys started to laugh, and then he swallowed his spit. You have to go to the hospital.
Oh my
God!
God!
I think he
Really?
burned a hole in his thumb. Oh yeah. Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. It's a bad habit. Bad habit, especially with the Swedes when they first came in. They introduced that, and that was bad. And we had doctors coming in and say, "Hey, you want to have cancer of the jaw? I keep on doing this, and look what happens when you have no jaw. They remove your jaw." That was terrible. We had a lot of guys with bad habits, like that snuff thing, and I didn't like that. I said, "Geez, you guys get beautiful teeth, you guys got beautiful wives and taste that stuff." So it's crazy. But Pat was Pat. I mean, we've seen each other many, many times, and I just before he here's what happened. When he was in trouble, physically, he was dying. A friend of mine says, there's something wrong with Pat Quinn. Look at all the weight. Then I realized it was not good. So you know what I did? I mean, everybody thinks it is what it is. So I called a couple guys in Philadelphia. I knew they didn't know. And there was a great call. A lot of guys called me back. Bob Kelly, Billy Barber, a few other guys. They were so happy. They just wanted to talk to him, and very well respected. So they had a chance, and that's what you do, right? He used to beat me up, but I just love the guy. I don't care. So, friends, people, it's about respect. Give your respect.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And we should just mention right now we got a sponsor for that, Lucy. By the way, Lucy.co. It's the tobacco-free pouches. You can go get some of that. Get that cinnamon.
Damn right.
Go to Lucy. Mention that promo code Cam Strick too. Hey, listen. When you went to LA, I think they made you the highest contract. They offered you the highest contract in the league at the time. I think $300,000 to go play in LA. Like, what's the most? What's the most you made? Like your highest salary over the course of your career? Was it in LA or was it in New York? What's the most you made in a single year?
I was carry bus was 800,000. Then they traded me to New York, and it was very simple. I knew it was coming to an end. It's just like it is what it is, but I still had it, but not in the same capacity. You give me one chance on a power play, I'll score one, and I proved it when I went to New York. And it was not a question getting out of ice time. It's a question, I know I'm not going to worry about it. I don't need 20 minutes. I might need 5 minutes, but you use me the proper way, I'll break in some of those young players that you have. Then I can tell and explain to them this is more than a game. It's a big time business. So then I took they said, well, Phyllis Zito was telling whatever my agent, well, he's making too much money. That was a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I said, make the deal whatever you want. So they give me $400,000, and they spread out over. LA paid $400,000, and US paid $400,000, and the rest is history. I live in New York for about 5 or 6 years. And I'll tell you, in New York, if I would have been 22 years old, it would have been unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would not get caught up. I would not. You asked me about LA movie stars and all that stuff. I was not in that stuff, but they were very nice. They were very nice people. Some were really hockey fans, and others are just the goofballs. Right?
Yeah.
But it's that's what it is. You got to remember, they're actors. They're acting. So when you think they watch him on a roll, they watch him fight, and the guy get a new meeting. Jesus Christ, this guy does. He can't be special. He's like a whip. and he's flying and kick here and kick there. So, but most of them is just like anything else. They enjoy entertainment. And but again, I'll tell you something. You see a guy on the bench, and he makes $2 million, right? So he plays. He averages 5 years. He's made $10 million. Put some money away. He's still going to have to work. If it doesn't work, then it's not going to last too much. Only the stars can do this. They could still get money after they're done, right? There's a high demand. That's pretty good money, guys.
The
average is 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
The average is 5 years of a hockey player.
Is it 5?
It might even be higher.
I thought it was less.
It might even be less than 5, like 3 years or something like that.
In football, it's like 2.5.
What happened? Okay, listen to me. Do your research. By the time you're drafted, you're 18 years old. Okay, 18, the age of 23, 24, you watch all the guys who get drafted. Your career is over.
Yeah.
You might play in the American League. At one time, there was the International League. I own a team in Charleston, South Carolina, an East Coast League did extremely well, sold out every day.
Oh, yeah.
Every game after 2 years. And we were the farm team of the Buffalo Sabres, and we had those kids from Rochester. So they were on a 3-way contract, this and that. And some of those players that I got, this is true story. Well, I'm in Charleston, right? Oh, my God. It's just like L.A., same weather, the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
These guys didn't want to go back up. I had to call them in the office and say, hold on. I'm really happy that we got you here. But now I'm talking as a person that knows this. You got to work your butt off. You got to get back up there and go back in the NHL. And you know what? That's what happens. You give them a little room. And then some of these guys now, they play in the East Coast Hockey League. It's almost minimum wages. And then they decide to go to Europe. So they might spend, and that's the danger. That is the danger. They might be playing for 10 years, and there's nothing to show for.
Yeah.
And now they got to go and work in the real world, and you guys probably see it. And that's tough.
Marcel,
really
you're
tough.
You're right. Because these kids will play, and I tell these guys too, like there has to be a cutoff point too, because you could play in the East Coast. And all of a sudden you keep grinding it, but then you're 30 years old, you have no money saved up because you're not making that much money, and now you're like, okay, what's my next skill set? Now I have to provide for my family. So it's like it's a tough. We see it all the time with kids in St. Louis, Marcel, where they're 30 years old. They could have retired 5 years ago and got a good jump on their next career, but they waited because they're hoping, and they have nothing to show for it.
It's I saw it, and you know what? We got a Players NHL Alumni Association, and I read now that what they're talking about, and I'm 70 years old. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You got to sit down with the player. You got to sit down with his wife. They're still married. And it says, you probably have kids. Says, this is the bottom line here. You have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I like to be in the public? Do I like to work long hours? What do you mean, long hours? Well, you think you're going to play golf every day? So if you dedicate yourself and then you smile, you know how to count, there's people out there that will hire you. Because every time I hear stars this and that, do you know we have guys, and I know who they are, that were not great hockey players. They played, but they went on to be very, very successful in the business world. Yep. And these guys are never asked to come and tell their story.
No.
That's the guys you want to talk to. I don't need an intellectual to say, hey, you got to do this, got to do that.
Yep.
Once I'm done, I'm going to send you a photo of what I'm doing today. And all it is mental preparation. And things evolve around what I do. But I've learned from many other players. And my best teachers, guys, were the great Montreal Canadiens in the 50s. I met them all. They're all Hall of Famers. I met them all. But I listened to all their stories. When they tell me they had nothing, Marcel, they played with. When they said Stanley Cup rings, they didn't get rings. You got a TV, color TV, and see you later. Everybody worked during the summer.
Yep.
Everybody worked. And I met them at the end of their lives. You can't complain. You never had to worry about most of those guys. They were dedicated. But a lot of guys don't have that opportunity. And a lot of guys will make a lot of money and lose it all.
Yeah.
Is it better mentally to say, I hope to win the lotto than trying to win the lotto? I mean, no, it doesn't. It's you're chasing.
Yeah.
And you guys are in a field. This is very competitive in your field. I watched a lot of guys when they retired, the first thing they're in broadcasting and so on, right? And it's hard. You got to be articulate, you know. You gotta know it. And then first thing I know, those guys are all gone. Where did they go? It's you bunch of guys. It's very difficult. It's very competitive. But now you have a taste of it. You know, I remember when I meet guys, because hi Marcel, what are you doing now? Says, you don't have enough hours in a day to see what I'm doing now, my son. I said, there's more than money. You got family, you got kids, you got grandkids, you got people, and everybody's after you. Everybody needs help. Everybody. So you try to do your best. You know, you try to do this, because I remember with my parents, they took care of a lot of people. That's what you got to do. If you got good, you've been brought up right. Luke Robitaille was, Jimmy Carson, right? And you want to be with them. You don't waste your time. And they grabbed it. They just, yes, I know, I understand. Well, it's up to them now to tell somebody else how to get it.
Yeah. Hey, just a couple more things for you, and we'll let you go, Marcel, man. We appreciate your time, big time. I'm curious your take, though, like the cost to play, like these kids nowadays, man. I mean, my kids starting out, sticks are $200. Like, it's just crazy, even more so. It costs so much. But I want to know what it's like when you walk into these NHL dressing rooms and like the young players, the current players. Do they know your story? Do they know how great you were? I mean, you look at your career numbers, over 700 goals, one of the greatest, goal scorers ever. Like, do you feel like they know the history of the game and they show that proper respect?
Well, again, not everybody is like me, but I'll tell you, it just happened with Los Angeles, right? After all those years, after I retired, they asked me to do this and do this and do that. So I went for a few times. Then finally to happen, I said, I'm done. I'm really done. It just hit me, right? Just that's when before COVID, I said, what am I doing here? You would think, and even Luke was there, but they don't have the time. There's so much pressure about winning and then whatever it is. Can you imagine you have Jack Nicklaus on the, my son is hitting balls with the Jack Nicklaus' son, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Nicklaus is right there. Are you kidding me? And then he goes to my son, and this is thinking, right? And he says, well, just put your hand like that to just hit the ball, right? Well, wow, this is great. Well, it doesn't happen all the time. But there's one thing. You guys are talking to me. There's one thing I could sell on. They've never asked me when I was there, says, I'd like to take the team, and we're all going to go for lunch. And Marcel, I want you to talk to them. That's the easiest thing for me. I'm not trying. I don't care what my stats are, but it's the reality of what you are playing now. You're going to look back and say, I should have worked a little bit harder.
Yep.
I should have disciplined a little bit. You know, I should have. Just go back. As you get older, it's about memories, right? Well, they never asked me. I love to play golf, right? I play a lot of golf with friends and all that stuff. And they never asked me to come back and play at one of those alumni tournaments. So that's fine. I have companies that I've never worked for them, pay me thousands and thousands of dollars to be a spokesman for whatever, an evening, right? And a lot of times it says, it's too much. It says, I'll give you back something and this and that. That's the hurt of the game. It doesn't hurt me. I'm just going, I said, you have something here, but you hire a professional to say, yeah, do you know what it's like to get cross-checked in front of the net, or to get speared and all that stuff? And then to tell them, says, I'm 5'7.5", and you get guys in this room at 6'4", 6'5". How do you play the game? Do you play the game tough for a 6'4", 6'5"? Or are you timid? A lot of guys are big guys, they're timid, right?
Yep.
So that, to me, that's the part of the game. And they don't know who you are. They ask, well, how are you doing? I says, I'm doing extremely well. Extremely well. Mentally, physically, I'm lucky that I walk away healthy. So I got the same things that now that other people at my age have, but I get up and I'm ready to go. You're not going to let me sit on the couch and watch TV. So I've seen this, and my biggest is it's have the opportunity to listen to every one of those guys. Everyone. And I still call people. If you don't have an impact, it's incredible, because I learned. And call them and they say, oh, Marcel, thank you so much. It's just because they go back in times. That's not the point for me to ask him what he's doing now. It's too late.
Does it?
You go back in time and they enjoy that conversation, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. Very few guys can make it, guys. Very few guys can play in the NHL or any pro sports, right? But if you get close, this is me. If you played one game, I'll buy you lunch. It does. If you played one game, oh, wow, I was not that good. You played one game. Do you know how many of them didn't make it and dream from the time they were 7, 8 years old coming back about the equipment, how expensive? It is ridiculous. So it is what it is, boys.
Hey, does it bother you?
My parents went broke.
Does it bother? I'm just curious. I ask, former players this all the time. Does it bother you that somebody who didn't even have close to the career that you had, that made so much money, that you missed out on that era to be able to truly make the money these guys are making? Not just star players. I mean, just you mentioned what the most money you ever made in a single season. I mean, that's the minimum salary
$20 million a year
in today's game. Does that bother you that some of these guys, average players, are making, they're taking home $40-50 million in their career?
Yeah, but here's what happened. It doesn't, because when I started to get paid, I remember this, Harry Sinden, great Harry Sinden in Boston, put me down. He says, there's no way there should be that kind of money. And this is true story. You go back, Ray Bourque never made the money that he should have made at the time. And Cam Neely resented that. He said, geez, because if you're a leader, you come in, you make more money, we're all going to make more money. So, but if the money, you don't see it, right? It's a contract. You deposit it in the bank and this and that. Says, okay, I'm going to have $1 million house. Now that the house is $10 million, then I'm going to have 2 cars again. It was never me. It was never me. And I didn't care about that. And at the time, can you imagine I'm making that kind of money? Henry Richard and some of these guys, the most they made $40,000, $50,000. They went on to live. But if you just think of that, it's what's the name of that Kane, the kid that played in he played for San Jose.
Oh God,
Evander Kane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you guys remember when he posted?
Oh yeah, in Vegas with
the money, the stacks of money.
Right, we remember that. Yeah.
I got my very nice kid. I said, he's just made a fool of himself. What? And look, what's this?
Yep.
Shit follows you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It is.
You should respect that. It's great, but it's just problems. Problems after another. You got away with it, and because at the age I'm in now, I'll finish with it. You guys are still young guys, but I don't feel old. But I'll tell you this: how I look at life. On a Saturday, everything is fine. You've been healthy. On Sunday morning, you got up, got to go to the hospital, not feeling good. Within a year, you're dead. And I can't move, and I can't back it up. Oh. So this is how precious all these moments. And today you made my day because you caught me on the right time, and just like I'm excited about everything, but I'm so sad what's happening in Ukraine that we should look at ourselves every day. Says how thankful we live in America, and there's other people in the world that just don't have what we have, and we're fighting about stupid things every day. So that's the way I look at it.
Well, I'm sure
I agree with you.
I'm sure everyone wants to ask you about not winning the Stanley Cup and all that, but I already know what your answer would be. So I don't even have to go down that road with you. No. My last thing for you is Alex Ovechkin. Okay, catching Wayne Gretzky. He obviously recently passed you, and you had a nice little tribute to him. You think he'll do it? Are you happy that if he does, is he the right guy to do it? Are you going to be a guy who's going to be like, okay, I'm glad that he's the one to do it?
Okay, here's what it is. I'm not afraid to say it. It's going to become a racist thing. It's going to be, if he passed Wayne Gretzky, it will never be the same. Doesn't matter. It's not fit. If you think it's just not fit for him to do that. It's reality. It's life. You talk about it. I talk to him. I said, I said, hey, all the best to you, but it's not the same thing. Wayne has been established. Wow. I'll take you an example. When I played in Detroit, I had the Red Berenson that played in St. Louis, right?
Yep.
And I'm sitting beside. He says, Marcel, nobody will ever beat Gordie Howe's record. I never forgot that. And guess what? You get that? You see what Wayne comes along. And I don't know if Connor McDavid will be able, but he's got the tools to do it. So he's there. And what happens, he ain't going to change my life. Going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's his name. I take him as a great hockey player. But for a lot of other people, it ain't going to be the same thing.
Especially
he's
now.
There.
Especially now, Marcel. Especially now, because he's kind of I think Ovi was people
worship
Ovi.
Him.
They're gonna have a statue in Washington D.C. of a Russian player, forever. And so that's a unique thing. And Ovi's great with the fans. He's loud. He's
the kids love
cool.
him. They want to be Ovi. He's got style.
He's got style. But I think now with this black cloud over in Russia, if he does break it, I think it's going to be kind of tarnished a little bit, just like you said.
Well, for me, I know it's good, whatever it is. He might have to go back. He might have to go back and say, out of nowhere, I'm going to start the foundation in Ukraine.
Yeah.
About something.
Yep.
You have, it's, I don't feel sorry for him. I'm disappointed. He chose that, but because experience comes with sometimes not how many years, how old you are. I was already pretty good at 20 years old, and I met guys with they're 60, 70, and they're stupid people. I said, how can it happen? It's supposed to get better as life goes on. They got worse. So it's the people around him that have to find a way to protect them and say, hey, and people forget. You know what? People will forget. It's just as soon as this thing, I hope it gets resolved or something, people go on, right?
Yeah, they move on. They'll move on to the next shiny object that they're all going to worry about, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's just how society goes over here. You know what I mean?
It's not, it's not pleasant for his wife. It's not. It's a tough issue, and it's bad now because now with social media, guys, nobody cares. Now they get on it. Now you can be attacked. It says, I'm not going to go second text and whatever. It can damage you psychologically. It's crazy.
It is.
I heard he had some security with him or something.
Yeah.
What?
I know,
It's
man.
crazy.
Well, they were there, especially in Canada, in the Canadian city, like up in Calgary. I think it was Calgary. They were booing him and stuff like that.
Ukrainian population in Calgary too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be interesting to pay attention to. Listen, Marcel, man, you've been fantastic,
best,
man. We appreciate it big time. So much respect for what you did in the game.
Yep. I want to come down to South Carolina and hang out.
Well, he's up in Niagara. We're going to come
South
up.
Carolina.
Let us know when you're there.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to open the border. Well, it is open now, but because you gotta get the PCR test.
Mm-hmm.
I got one son that lives in Buffalo, the other one lives in Florida. So right now, with the mandates, it's going to be cleaned up. So you know what, you gotta tell about all these athletes. You know what, that they live. It was a tough 2 years, and it's nice to see the fans coming back, and it's more exciting for you guys to do things too. I watched the game on Heritage Hockey, so I thought in the overall they did discipline themselves. The leagues, the NHL did a pretty good job, still trying to entertain ourselves. And I want to thank you and congratulate you guys for your show. And then, life goes on. You talk to me today, give me a call 10 years from now. Maybe I'll talk about something else.
Well, you can. I'm coming down in a month, so you're going to be seeing me in a month, Marcel. Who are you kidding?
You can come on whenever you want, Marcel. And I'm glad we caught you on a good day, man.
You're the man.
So, all the best to you and your family.
Listen, have a good day. No, it's pretty good every day. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Love you, buddy. You're the man. Marcel. See you, Marcel. Enjoy yourself.
The Cam Strick podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Marcel Dionne here on the Cam Strick podcast. Cam, your takeaways.
Oh, he was great, man. He just goes and goes. Very opinionated. We like that. I like this to set up a guy and they take it where they want to take it. Very smart man. Very underrated as a player. Played on some shitty ass fucking teams. Love him to death. Love to get him back on. Just a great guy. Very underrated though, man.
Yeah. Very well, I don't know. I mean, people know how great he is. He just didn't play on very many good teams and whatever. But one of the most famous Los Angeles Kings in the history of that organization. Obviously, Gretzky took it to new heights. But before Wayne Gretzky, man, that's what they had. It was Marcel Dionne. So again, we appreciate him for coming on. We're going to keep this short here. So much going on today with the trade deadline. By the time this comes out, we'll know all the trades and we'll react to it once again next week and throughout the week on our Instagram pages, our Twitter pages. Be sure to follow all our social media, camandstrick.com. Go to our website and we'll have reaction and everything that's going on in terms of what may or may not happen throughout the day today here on Trade Deadline Day 2022. It's like a national holiday up in Canada, Cam. What do you think about these TV shows, man? They go for like 10, 12 hours a day, just nonstop trade deadline coverage. Are you locked into it or what?
Yeah, I'm locked in watching it, but I wouldn't want to do it. You know.
Why not? Carlos all
I like to be
into
done by 10 o'clock. Oh, he loves it. Well, that's just it. I love Carlos. So damn funny.
So funny.
Carlos been up all morning. I thought I was up early. Carlos up tweeting, and I'm liking all his shit. He needs to know that it's an hour earlier here, and I'm still up doing it too, motherfucker.
I know.
He's awesome, man. I wouldn't want to do that though, man. I like my gig.
Yeah.
I just chill and let you do all the hardcore shit, Andy.
This
is your day today, baby.
It's your day. Your day.
You need to go get to work. You need to go camp out next to Army's office.
I know.
Get going here. He's waiting on your fucking
I'm gonna get going. All right, Cam Strick podcast brought to you by Hair Club. Again, 800-279-7878. Get there today, hairclub.com/Cam Strick. Go to our landing page and sign up for your consultation there. You're going to save $250. Of course, carshield.com, 800-857-2481. Get that protection. Save 10% by using the promo code CAM. CarShield and carshield.com, baby. I see you, Ice-T, doing all those commercials. How about Bellman.com? Our boy Danny Boy and Kenny and everybody, Dale, everybody out there. They're waiting for you to give you the best customer service you can possibly find anywhere. Out there in Troy, Missouri, they got the Buick GMC on one side of the street, the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. Lucy Goosey, go to lucy.com. Use that promo code CAM and Strick. Do it today. You're going to save 20% on your order. And again, get off nicotine, man. I mean, obviously, nicotine is an addictive chemical. We got to let the people know, man. That's a warning about nicotine. But again, people out there who are smoking and doing things, man, there's a better lifestyle waiting for you. Do it today with Lucy and Lucy.com. The Better Business Bureau, Lucy.co, I should say. Not com, Lucy.co. The Better Business Bureau, BBB.org. Get all the information you need on the companies that you trust. Can you trust them or can't you trust them? There's only one place to go to find out, where you get the real reviews, not the fake reviews, not the phony reviews, but the real ones, only at the Better Business Bureau, BBB.org. Cam, enjoy your day today, man. I wish you nothing but the best. You're going to pay the price for drinking that gas station coffee. I hope you find a way to get through the day, go home and take a nap. I'm probably going to barbecue later on today as well. I'll have some results of that and updates on my barbecue throughout the day on my social media. My cameos are live. Cam, you can go ahead and go now. Cameos are available right now. If somebody wants to hit me up on Cameo, Cam has raised his prices on Cameo, just so people know.
Hey, no, I did $100. I'm not playing that game anymore.
Yeah, so I am the real value. I give you the real value. Hit me up on Cameo. We'll make your day even more special. We'll do that today. CamandStrick.com. Go to our website today. Until next time, thanks for listening, as always, to the Cam and Strick podcast.